everyone, how's it going? We are here for the PCDcast. This is episode 4. We're talking about PAX Online today. This is actually a new event for PAX. PAX hasn't ever actually done PAX Online. Every time that they've done PAX, it's always been physical. But today, or not today, I'm sorry, in a week, we're going to be doing, they're going to be doing PAX Online. So we're going to talk about PAX Online, what we expect, what we hope for, what we know about so far, just because it's very, very new. So today we have 3 of us. I am your host, Andeh, or Andeh, as some people like to call it. We've also got MattBSG.
Hello.
And then we've got Entity.
Hello. Excited about this online experience. It's really
Yeah.
something brand new. A lot of us really have never experienced an event like this before, so it'll be a fun experience for everybody.
I mean, some of us have experienced an online community con
Well,
before,
I mean,
if everyone remembers
in terms
that.
of PAX.
Right, yeah. PAX is going to be a completely different experience, that's for sure. This is also going to be fun for a lot of people who never get the option to attend PAX, because PAX is an experience by itself, for sure. And I mean, both of you guys are veterans of PAX. You guys are both East veterans, right? And then both of you guys actually attended, I think, your first West a year or 2 ago?
I didn't. Matt did.
Oh, that's right. Matt did.
Hopefully in a couple years or next year.
Right. West is my home PAX, and I recently attended PAX East a couple years ago for the first time, and I've been to PAX South a few times as well. And my first PAX Unplugged was last year, 2019. No, it's not the last PAX. The last PAX was PAX East this year.
Right.
So yeah, PAX Online is definitely something that's a mystery. We do have a few information, and there was a few announcements about it. We've had a lot of news, mainly the reason being because, you know, COVID is a thing here in the U.S. apparently, as much as some people would like you not to know. So, what do you guys think of PAX Online? What do you guys think is going to be the experience of online?
So it's definitely gonna be interesting. It's again, it's like 9 days. It's much different of a spin-off than the normal PAX. There's obviously nothing in person. You don't really have that same like feel of amazement. You're walking around, you're in it, but they're still trying to do their best to fill in some excellent content. There's a lot of really cool panels we're seeing about. I know they haven't fully announced what they're going to be doing for the rest of the events. I don't think it's just streams, but hopefully some really cool stuff to come with that at least.
Yeah, and I think it'll be really exciting to see. I mean, I think a lot of people normally can't experience PAX, whether it be like if there's not one in their area, or if, I mean, PAX can be very expensive. I mean, especially if you go around buying that $100 Mega Man statue every time you see it, that it can get really pricey. And for a lot of people, they don't have the option to go to a PAX event because, I mean, if it's far away, you have to pay for a hotel, you got to pay for a flight or gas, you got to pay for a badge, and then you have to go around and buy things, because that's one of the fun parts about PAX is blowing your life savings.
Don't talk to GFX about buying things. No joke. Every time I go to PAX with GFX, the thing that he shows me is he shows me the list of all the merch he's gonna buy, and he's like, "Yeah, I'm looking at about $250 of merch."
Yeah.
And I'm like, "Boy, listen."
Right.
I think the travel is the best part, because the big thing that I always hear about is, especially from the EU guys, they're always like, "When is PAX going to be in the EU? When's PAX North happening?" And we always like
PAX
to joke
North.
in the server about PAX North.
Well,
One
we
day
don't get
PAX North will
insomnia.
right. So I know the EU has Gamescom, but like PAX just feels like a very
something special.
different thing. Yeah, it's definitely something special. It was born out of something special, and so like seeing what they're going to be doing with PAX Online is just a super nice thing to see, because I saw what Gamescom is like, and PAX to me has always looked very different. It's more of, imagine E3, but everyone was friends with each other, basically. Because E3 has always been that big, ginormous event that media only goes to, and then they recently opened up.
Right.
But like to me, PAX has always felt like this like friend environment. Like everywhere I go, it's like somebody I can talk to about Animal Crossing or Resident Evil, or talk about new games that are coming up, or maybe a tabletop game I've been playing for like 5 years that I've never been able to play in person because I don't have friends, kind of thing.
Right, I
So,
kind of see what you mean. Like it's more of a community-focused event, and I think that we're gonna see not only like the excitement of PAX from people from the EU, but or not EU, but Europe. Not trying to exclude our English friends here, but
oh yes,
um,
yes. Sorry.
but I think our numbers are gonna be. I think we're gonna be seeing huge numbers on all three of the streams. Really, I think the numbers are gonna be. I mean, really, the only way I would think about it is like kind of comparing it to like a Counter-Strike major, how you have tons of people in the streams, and it's not only just about the streams, but there's things you can do outside of the streams. There's, I mean, at least from what we've heard, it's just going to be a huge event that I think we're going to see really thousands and thousands of people participate in, and I think it's just going to expand that PAX community, which I really think is going to be a great thing.
I'm excited for our PAX community because we've been near 4,000 members strong as of June, I want to say, and we're always looking to grow, and we're always looking for more friends to join that PAX community. And I've always said to people is that you don't have to join PAX if you've never attended PAX, or the PAX community if you've never actually attended PAX, because just wanting to go to PAX and like hearing from people what PAX is like and the different prep things that they go through and getting excited. It's exciting on its own. Like I didn't go to South and East this year for some financial choices, but like getting to live through everyone else at, like for South and East was kind of a big thing for me. So like I didn't attend, but I know how hyped they are, and it's just fun to hang out with them while they hype through the event. So speaking of streams, by the way, we're gonna talk about some schedules, because that was kind of the big announcement recently, actually a couple days ago. PAX finally put up its schedule list, and it is massive, to say the least. This PAX is very different because it's spanned over what, 10 days?
9.
9 days? Yeah.
Yeah. It's honestly massive compared to anything they've undertaken before, and it's not even just that too, because it's the panels are more or less closer to 24/7. Unlike where PAX normally just goes for the time zone of the event, there is no time zone. It's focused more in like the U.S., like Eastern Pacific type time zones, but you're still seeing panels broadcasted stuff at like 3, 4, or 5 a.m. Eastern, for example. So they're really trying to push like for everyone, and a lot of stuff's also pre-recorded, so you're able to look back at stuff too.
Yeah, and I think that's the big thing is things used to be streamed and still are streamed in PAX. Like if you hear about PAX East, you can still experience PAX East from the comfort of your house, because a lot of their panels are streamed. But it was always the big three panel rooms, the main panel rooms that you could actually watch. So like if your friend was part of a smaller panel that didn't get the opportunity to stream, and you didn't get to go to the event, you kind of missed out on that experience of getting to see your friend host a panel. Whereas this one, it's unless they put it on YouTube, if they recorded it and put it on YouTube, that kind of thing. But this event is fully streamed, so every single panel is streamed or pre-recorded, and I think that's the big thing that they're trying to push is like, even if you can't be available during PAX that time, you can still watch it. You can still experience the panels, and so their schedule, if you go to it, it's online.paxsite.com/schedule. They've got a massive 10-day schedule, and there are streams and pre-recorded content going on all day, and a lot of them are the PAX sort of staples, I guess you could say. Like we have Storytime with Mike Pondsmith. That's a very popular thing that always happens at every PAX. There's always a story time with a major developer, content creator, or someone like that. And then there's always the Penny Arcade Q&A for those that go to PAX for its original meaning, which was the Penny Arcade Expo. So they always have that. And then there's always companies that are always showcasing games and hosting some kind of panel to talk about their new game coming up or something like that. So Gearbox is doing their digital showcase.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be really fun to see. Like, I think it'll be really great because I know a lot of people, I guess, can't necessarily stream at 3 in the morning. So even if it means you won't be directly participating in chat or something, you'll still have content going on all the time, pretty much. And I think that's going to be a really good thing to. I mean, obviously, no one likes dead air, but it's really hard to avoid when you're doing a ideally 24/7, 9-day, or 24/9 event. It's kind of hard to do. And I think that PAX has really done a good job of scheduling it so that, you know, everybody can still experience something no matter what time zone or what country you're in. And I think it's going to be a really fun experience and bring the community together even more, as we'll be able to get some new friends from overseas.
And having pre-recorded is going to be great too for it, because you can watch it at any time, and it's going to be recorded, so there's a VOD for it, so you can watch. For those that are Twitch literate, VOD, the video on demand service. Matt, did you want to point out some maybe panels that you thought was interesting to share?
Sure. So when going through the panel list, there's a couple, very interesting things I saw. So first of all, as always, PAX tradition, we're starting off with story time. So host this year is going to be Mike Pondsmith, basically, who is the founder of Telsorian Games, and has been working on the Cyberpunk games. So he's going to be definitely an interesting speaker. We of course also have concerts coming. We have our Saturday night and Sunday night concerts. Some interesting ones. There's a couple of COVID specific ones. We got a lot of we got a lot of Animal Crossing, like in mental health type of panels.
Animal Crossing's great.
Yeah.
So is mental health.
Yeah.
I think the concerts are those big things, for sure. Concerts are the very popular thing that people like to go to PAX for, is late night concerts after the show floor is closed. You get to go and hang out with friends, listen to some game music and remixes. It's kind of awesome.
Yeah. On Saturday, the Triforce Quartet is who's going to be on the Saturday concert. And then over on Sunday, we actually have 88-bit.
Which is a good band.
Which
That's
is
a
a
good
really
band.
good band.
Very good.
Yeah. Definitely recommend
so
seeing that.
Very, very excited for that one. We have Acquisition Inc., of course, always a staple. And this year, they're continuing up with what they normally do with the Megathon, and they're doing 9 straight rounds of it.
Much bigger than normal.
It's a very big Megathon. So I'm very interested to see how that ends up going.
I'm excited to see how Megathon works online. That's going to be interesting. For those that don't know what a Megathon is, it's a competition throughout PAX, and the winner of the Megathon gets to go to their PAX Oz of choice. And it's usually in person, so they'll meet in a panel room and they'll play a game that they got to practice or they heard about beforehand, and winners continue on to the next round, and the final round is always a mystery game that none of the Omeganauts know what it is, so they can't practice it. We've had actually a few PCD members go up on Omegathon, so shout out to Fangy and Sarah, who were PAX Unplugged finalists, or near finalist. I think Sarah got knocked out like 3rd round in, but Fangy got onto the final round.
Represented the community very well, I must say.
Oh yeah, and the community was representing her. Like, I remember people were in the stands like shouting out her name and cheering her on. It was great. It was fantastic. So,
no crowds on this stage though.
Oh yeah, no crowds, but you can cheer digitally. It'd be great. And then our favorite panel, the one panel that all of our followers,
the only
and
panel
fans
that
work
really
together.
matters.
Right. The PAX Community Discord Game Night. We've started hosting this a few years ago, and people have loved it. We always have fun with it. It's a great panel. We usually give out prizes during our panel. This year, because it's digital, we may have to figure out some alternative pricing for the panel, but we will definitely be hosting our PAX Community Discord Game Night. I think it's on Tuesday night? Remind me, Matt?
I believe that is the case. I'm not on the panel this year.
Oh, that's right. You weren't on the panel.
Yeah, I'm not.
I think it was
so-
Tuesday night because I think it was
is
an awkward
Wednesday
night.
night.
It is Wednesday at 12:30 a.m.
Oh,
AM.
it's Tuesday for me because it's at
Well,
like
yeah,
9:30.
Right.
Yeah, 'cause it's
for-
it's time zones. So
Time zones are the best. Yeah. So
12:30
Tuesday at
a.m.
9:30.
Wednesday Eastern time, or 9:30 p.m. Tuesday if you're on Pacific.
The only overlapping event with us is the designing the protocol, the design of development of Marvel Crisis Protocol.
It's
So if you're
finally not
interested in
Ag Inc.
that,
It's not
yeah, it's finally
Ag Inc.
not Ag Inc.
Finally.
or the concerts. We were,
That-
I think, the
that-
first year we did it, we were against concerts, and then
Yep.
the year after that, we were against Ag Inc. And it was hilarious because every time we did that, we were always like, "Oh man, we're competing against like the big panels." Like the first year, it was against the big panels, and we've constantly done 150 to 200 people attending, and we've loved every single person that's been in our panel. So
I'm pretty sure that every panel we've done has had a major conflict.
oh
Yeah,
yeah, oh yeah,
absolutely.
and I think it was intentional by Penny Arcade, but
Eh,
I'm not going to talk
probably.
about that. So schedule. Since we have that, let's talk about how the best way to schedule out time for PAX Online. Like, do you request time off from work? Maybe don't request time off. Do your normal work and maybe watch as you have free time. That kind of thing. What do you guys think?
I mean, I think here's how I look at it. PAX is a thing. I mean, if you go to an event, request time off, it's a big thing and you get to enjoy the whole event because it's not just about the event doesn't just start when the gates open on the first day. The event starts really for you at least, when you're planning on going, when you're getting in the car and driving halfway across the country in some cases to go to your PAX of choice. That's when the event starts, and that's in my opinion one of the things that makes PAX so special is that it's not just the time that it's happening, that it's really the fun, I guess. So I think that's when it's certainly, I guess, encouraged to take time off from work if you can afford to and really enjoy the whole experience. But I guess in my opinion, especially since it'll be so easy to access the VODs and watch everything after, and there's still things going on 24/7, I think it'll be pretty easy to budget out your time after you get off of work. So, I mean, if you want to request a Friday off and enjoy a long weekend of PAX, that's great too. But I think if you can watch a couple streams that you want and to participate live, and then especially if it's like a Q&A, or if there's, I guess, if you gain something by being an active audience member. But otherwise, you could really budget out your time so where you are watching the streams that you want, and in the time where there's streams that you don't want, that you're not necessarily interested in, go back and watch those recorded bits. Because I think it's, obviously, PAX is super fun, and this is just another event of PAX. I mean, that's how I look at it. It's not an alternative. I guess it is, but it's a whole event on its own, and that's how I think a lot of people are looking at it. But
I think
personally,
that's important is the live part, because
Right.
The downside to this schedule that I've really not liked, that I wish that they had fixed, is making the panels look more obvious when they're live instead of having to click on them. I've noticed that if you go through the schedule and you click on an event, like if I go to the Penny Arcade Q&A online, at the top left, you have to go into the panel. At the top left, it tells you if it's live or pre-recorded, and it's not obvious from the outside of the panel.
Right.
So you have to actually click in and see them in order to determine. And I think that's what should guide you in deciding, okay, is this a panel I really want to attend live, that I want to like partake in, or is it pre-recorded and I can maybe go watch it on my free time? Maybe there's specific days that you don't want to be working or not available. So, what about you, Matt?
I mean, it's super awkward. No. It's super awkward, kind of how it is. This is all new to everyone. Popping in a stream, being able to jump a lot, is gonna be weird. People talking in chat and not realizing that it's not pre-recorded or not. I would kind of hope they'll put maybe prefixes on stream titles.
I really hope
something
they
like
do
that. Because I have a feeling there's gonna be a lot of people who's not gonna see that.
Right.
That is definitely a quality. They really could do that on the main page, but I mean,
Right.
yeah.
Like when it starts streaming on Twitch, maybe
Mhm.
the notification that pops up says, hey, this is a pre-recorded event. Or, I mean, even still, it would be nice if they just prepend the notification to say live. Like, this is this actual panel is live, kind of thing. So
Just the
that way
title.
you know. Yeah. Because I mean, there's 3 Twitch channels, and they're gonna be popping off like every so often. So if you put on follow notifications for those guys, uh,
Your phone's
expect
gonna
that
be
week to
blown
be
up.
very busy. So, um, I'm in the same boat as you, Matt. Though it's kind of it's an awkward thing where it's like I do want to see some things live, and I know that I will, but I also kind of wish that it would be easier to find out. Okay, this is something I'm interested in, but it's a pre-record, so I don't need to worry about it. Maybe turn off notifications for that. But I'm gonna be working the whole week, so it's one of those things where like I can't watch Twitch at work,
Right.
so I have to watch it later, kind of thing. So
Yeah.
yeah,
One thing I want to emphasize to anybody who's considering taking time off from work for the event, only take off the time that you can. Like if you are really saving your vacation days for, visiting a relative or something, there's definitely going to be alternatives. Like I'm sure that the ACK Inc. if it's live, I'm sure that there'll be a VOD of it or a recording of it somewhere you can watch after.
for
And
sure.
I think especially with the massive ones. So if you're in a position where you're not sure if you'd feel comfortable, whether it be financially or using up your days off, it's there's always alternatives. And if by taking off work is going to put you in a position where you're uncomfortable either financially or time wise, or if you're going to be scrambling to get days um, to do things like visit relatives or something, there's always alternatives, and just that's something to keep in mind. I wanted to emphasize.
Yeah, for sure. And the other nice thing is that a lot of us are also work from home right now. So a convenient thing is that if you're working from home, maybe you don't have anything conflicting like a meeting or something like that at home. So you could always just pop up Twitch and put it in the background and watch, maybe
Right.
partake every once in a while. So would be a good thing, yeah. Um,
I too Omega not while I'm at work.
I think that'll be. I think that's the big thing for people to know is that if you've never been to a PAX before, I highly suggest at least watching 1 or 2 of the Omeganaut events, because Omeganaut is like it's a signature part of PAX, and like it would not be a PAX without the Omegathon. So definitely partake in one of them, for sure. Like just to hype kind of thing. So
Yeah,
uh,
definitely a
let's see.
fun event.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. All right. So during the event, there's a few things that's going to be happening in the event. We've been told that there's a Discord server that's going to be in the event. So it's not going to be our server. If anybody was thinking, we're more of a focus group of the community. We've been kind of a lot of the veterans, and we have a few people who are new to PAX who might be chatting in it, kind of thing. But there's going to be an official PAX online server that will launch. I got a sneak peek of it, and I have to tell you guys, it's kind of exciting, and even better is the fact that it's very much a PAX experience. Is all I can say. It will definitely give you an insight as to what PAX is like if you were to ever visit it in real life. So I highly recommend at least visiting the PAX Discord that they're going to be hosting when it opens up. But keep in mind, it's going to be very busy because we're going to expect probably 10,000 to 20,000 people in that server. So it will be very busy in those channels, for sure.
I'd probably even say more.
Absolutely.
There's more attendees that go to some of the larger events
Oh,
east to
true.
west.
Yeah, 10,000.
We're talking online, people from different time zones, not just regionalized.
Right.
I could very honestly see like it going to a very large amount, especially if Discord features it all, like in Discovery and stuff like that.
Hmm.
It's gonna grow very fast. I could see 20,000 in the first day.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So it's to be seen how big it'll get, but it's gonna be crazy. So
Yeah. I fully expect that server to crash in the first hour or so. For sure. I don't think Discord is going to be. Discord might feature it in their discovery section, but I think it's going to have a lot of exposure on its own. It's definitely going to have an online vanity URL, so it'll be easy to find, and it's highly branded at the PAX Online feel for sure, 100%. It's I just the notifications they send out when if you go to the Discord page on the PAX Online website, there's a few clues to what this Discord's going to be like, and I highly suggest taking some hints from the website and passing it onto the server, because your experience will be far better if you read the website just a little bit. Um, so Discord is going to be there. You're going to have Twitch. There's going to be VODs. What else do you guys think, or what are your hopes for like features?
I'm not open for a lot of like looking for game type of stuff. So like BYOC is a cool thing. Like it's always been at PAX, but maybe do some looking for game stuff. Get some groups going. Maybe even just voice channels, just doing like I don't know, just D&D. Somehow people figuring it out. I imagine we're gonna see a lot of like interactivity, people hanging out, playing games, online multiplayer games. I think it's gonna be a lot of fun, and it will be more than just going into like channels. It will probably be a lot more. I'm hoping it's a lot more interactive, being able to like have that PAX feel, still interacting with other people and playing with other people and talking to them.
Yeah,
That's me.
The LFG is kind of a big thing. That's the big thing that I would hope from PAX, is because when you ask somebody who goes to PAX like religiously, there's like that question you ask, like, why do you keep going to PAX? And the answer is 9 times out of 10 because you get to go and meet up with people and play games with everyone. The free play areas and yeah, I guess it's just the free play area, because tabletop free play is a really great place to grab that LFG cone and wander around looking for some people to join you on maybe a Betrayal on the House on the Hill, or some Warhammer kind of stuff, and even like D&D like private areas to go and like get a group together and play D&D together. I think LFG is going to be a key part of PAX Online for sure.
Yeah, I definitely agree. It's hard to describe PAX without describing the community aspect and how open it is. Yeah,
and the panels are another big part as well.
Right.
So, I think one of the difficult things about the Discord server is going to be that because there's so many people chatting in some of the channels, it might get really difficult. And I think a lot of people, I'm one of those people, I get really stressed out in servers like that, where if there's 50,000 people and general is just flying through and all the channels are just flying through, it's going to get really hard. So I think if you are not part of the PCD group and on our server, I think it'd be a great second home kind of during PAX Online to maybe catch like a conversation with some other people as well, especially if you start feeling very anxious about PAX Online. But Discord hasn't really gotten an LFG system working right. They tested it out a while ago and it didn't really seem to work out. So I'm curious to see how well LFG works in Discord, if there is going to be one. So
yeah, I agree. I think
just my thoughts.
Yeah, I think definitely if you're not part of the PAX community Discord, definitely get over there for I guess a slower paced conversation. I'm guessing they'll probably have slow mode on, but even then, like if you're trying to talk with someone and you have to wait 10 seconds before sending another message, depending on how long their slow mode is, then it can be tough.
Matt, you remember Discord birthday server, right?
Listen,
I don't know if you were part of that.
I do remember Discord birthday. They actually used that to test. They just kind of shoveled in their new hardware backend they were using.
Right? Yeah.
relays. They used it for testing and it kind of failed miserably.
Oh yeah.
Um,
It was a beautiful
so
mess.
I do know that they have rolled out relays and they are working well now.
Yeah.
So hopefully the member count issue will not be a thing for the server.
I think it's less the member count, but like even on the PAX,
Presence is like people online is what
Yeah.
more of the problem. Yeah.
but it was also like you could put slow mode on for 4 hours and that chat would still fly. Like there was
Doesn't
that many
matter.
people, huh?
It just doesn't matter. It's just if there's 20,000 people online and a 50,000 person server,
Right.
2,000 of them in the given hour could want to talk, and you could put again like a multi-hour slow mode on, and if it's just thousands of people typing, it's not gonna help. 'Cause
That
it's more
several
than one
people
person.
typing is going to intensify.
Right. Or even if you've ever been in a
100% of the time,
snows giving
it's
too.
several people are typing.
Yeah. So I think that's mostly everything. Do you guys want to maybe grab some questions real fast and
So I
maybe talk?
I actually have been pulling them from chat. So really, there were two questions I saw, which was, what kind of credentials did you need to have a panel at PAX Online?
So panel. So we actually submitted our panel and we got accepted. There's an invisible credential line that they carry, but I've always told everyone submit a panel. Just if you have an interest in talking about something or sharing something that you think is unique or important, especially in like a community like PAX, I say submit it anyway because they do have an open line to drop panel submissions into, and who knows, you might get accepted and you might get approved for a panel. One of our community members, Sarah, she actually hosts panels on cosplay. She did a panel, I think, last year on Japanese games, like board games. And it was a fascinating panel. And she's always excited whenever she gets a panel that she gets to share because it's her passion for stuff like doing cosplay and stuff like that. And she submits it yearly and it gets approved. And I feel like it now gets approved more so because it's just a popular topic. So like if it's a newer thing and you've never submitted before, it might be that scary thing of like submitting and not knowing if it'll go through. And I think just go for it. We did our first PCD game night was totally on a whim, and we were like, we don't even know if this will get approved. And then we got an email back saying, hey, here's your panel, here's the room, here's everything you need for a panel. And we were like, excuse us, what? We have a panel? Like a literal one? So yeah, it doesn't really require credentials, to be honest. They just look for making sure that it's open and ready to go, kind of thing.
Basically, not spam.
The worst
Yeah.
they can say is no. That's how I look at it. So if you're gonna
Exactly.
take the time to just submit it, it's like the worst that they can say is, sorry, it didn't make the cut. Try again next year, and then you can always try again next year. And I mean, I think it's just share your passion. They want to see things that people are interested in. They want to, because that's their goal, is to make PAX better, and having solid panels is a great way to do that. So that's really their goal. It's not because what you submitted isn't interesting enough or anything. It's just maybe it's similar to another panel. Like, certainly don't get down if your panel doesn't get accepted, because there's so many reasons why it could have happened. But I mean, definitely go for it.
And I think that's important is that you don't need a team of industry professionals in order to do it. My first panel I got invited to was totally like, I feel like it was kind of last minute getting invited, but a group of the community leaders that run different community groups like the Cookie Brigade and PAX Prank. I was very new to the whole community aspect of PAX, and I was just starting the PAX community Discord, and I believe it was the Cookie Brigade leader. She messaged me and she's like, "Hey, do you want to be part of this this panel that we do? It's the PAX 101 panel at South." And I was like, "I'm sorry, what? You want me on a panel? Like me, physically?" And it was my first time, and I was so nervous. But after that, she actually ended up dropping from doing the panel regularly, and I kind of picked it up and I started submitting. And I guess because of the presence it had always at South, it was always accepted. But it was kind of nerve-wracking for me to submit it because I didn't think I would get accepted, because I was this new person that nobody had heard of, and they were like, "Yeah, sure, it's PAX 101, let's go for it." So, Matt, was there any other questions that you saw?
I saw one other one basically, which was, have the Omegathon or Omeganauts already been selected? That's a yes. So the Twitter account basically for PAX already said that they were doing phone calls. So I think it was a couple weeks ago. You would have received a phone call if they were going to bring you on. If you weren't contacted a couple weeks ago, you weren't selected. But everyone who was already knows. Yeah.
Now, are the phone calls new this year? Is it normally
Nope.
an email?
Nope.
No?
They do phone
Oh
calls
wow,
for
that's
every
interesting.
PAX.
I never knew that. That's good to know.
What was new this year, I think, was that you had to subscribe to the newsletter. I think it was the email newsletter. Because usually what it is that when you go and buy badges, there's a checkbox that you check that says, "Do you want to partake in Omegathon?" You check it, and you're part of the call pool that they do for Omeganauts. And they'll make a tweet that say, "We're putting out phone calls, so if you see a phone number that you don't recognize, you better pick that phone up." And so they'll go through a list, and if nobody picks up, then they'll keep moving down the list until they get all the numbers for Omegathon. And it's usually, I think, 12 or 16 people that they call?
I think it's 16.
Yeah, 16 or something like that.
I could be wrong.
No, 16 is East, because they do the... East is the one that does the doubles.
Right. That's
and
what
then,
I'm thinking.
Yeah, and then other ones, I think West and South are 12, I want to say. Because they do a bracket of 6. Yeah, South is 12. Thank you, Jedi. Yeah, South and West are the same, so they're 12. East is the unique one where they do doubles for their Omegathon, which is an interesting thing. It's like everyone's paired up randomly, so you have no idea who your partner is. So
yeah, it's an interesting concept. Certainly fun to watch.
Oh yeah. I had one of my friends actually get part of Omegathon, and he was really excited about it, and he was really nervous. And I remember, like 2 weeks lead up, he was like asking all of us if we could hang out and play this game with him, so he could practice and get accustomed to the game and stuff like that. It was absolutely fun to watch him like play through it. He ended up losing, I think, round 2 or 3. No, he actually made it. I think it was like 4. And he still had a blast even though he lost. We were all sitting there at the edge of our seat on that event and just like, oh man, is he gonna make it? Is he gonna make it? So it's a good thing to be part of if you ever want to be part of it. And I think, what does second place get? Do you remember?
I want us. Oh God, is there a medal? I feel like there's a medal, right?
Oh, it's you get to go back into the Megathon. The next.
Yeah.
the
You
next
automatically get back in for next year.
Yeah, that's what it was.
That's
Because
what it
Fangy, I remember Fangy went into last year's Omegathon because she got reinvited because she placed second. I forgot about that. There you go.
Guarantee return.
Yeah, guarantee return. Because Omeganauts get a free badge. They get their Omegonaut badge, and they get to participate. And if you get second, you get a re-entry into the PAX. So it's less expensive to go. And then first place gets that coveted PAX Oz of choice. And I say PAX Oz of choice because you know that's where you want to go is PAX Oz.
Right.
That PAX that no one ever gets to visit.
Just go to Australia. Get plane ticket to Australia.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, who wouldn't do that?
Right? So
Listen, mine's going to PAX North.
Yeah, I
Again,
agree.
Omegathon.
If I do that, that's what I would do. I would if I ever won Omegathon, that's what I would say. I would say I want to go to PAX North. When did we bring in PAX to Canada? Let's go.
Right?
I want Chicago.
Chicago.
we're gonna do PAX Detroit. Let's go.
Right. All right. So this is kind of the end, and we have kind of a surprise for everyone.
I do have one more thing I want to mention before we do the
for it.
surprise. One thing that we talked about was, how to enjoy the event, whether it be by yourself or with other people. But one thing that I wanted to mention that a lot of people may not be considering is, especially, I know work schedules might be crazy, general schedules and everything, but if you can safely have a PAX watch party, like get a projector, put the streams on the side of your house, and have dinner with your
man.
friends, that is like certainly a great way to enjoy the event with your friends. And I think obviously the community aspect of being in the Discord server and being in the community server is certainly a good way to do it as well. But if you can obviously safely, take numbers down in case if you need to do tracing, have everybody wear masks and whatnot, do your state recommended protocols. But if you can do a watch party safely and really have some people over and really get that community feel, play some board games with your friends, watch the streams, I think that's like kind of bringing the magic of PAX to an online scene where you may not be able to get that feeling of, trying to get in line, get to the front of the line for when the gates open to the escalator. Even if
Line
you may
simulator.
not get that. Yeah, literally.
The breakdowns,
Like in a time when you really can't get that, being able to enjoy the community aspect with your friends physically is something that I think would definitely add to the experience.
For sure, and that makes me think that that's something that we should do in the server is have somebody streaming, different channels, PAX 1, 2, and 3, and just have a little watch party. That'd be kind of awesome, I think.
Yeah, that'd be super cool.
Yeah. So, all right. Let's talk about this surprise. So, a lot of you might know that we like to sell some shirts for the community. They usually have our good friend the Paxter logoed on the shirt, and we usually do one for each individual PAX. And lately, some people might have noticed that East and South 2020 kind of lacked in some shirts and apparel. Well, the reason being is because we've actually been working behind the scenes to move our shirt distributor to a new storefront. And today we actually rolled it out. Today, and we were going to actually surprise everyone on stream with the rollout. So for those watching the PCDcast recorded, you might get to see the preview.
It will be on. It will be on screen. I'll put it in post. So for the YouTube version, it will be. You'll be seeing them on screen right now. For our audio listeners, obviously, you can check it out in the server, I believe.
Server, and I will have a link to the store in the chat in a second.
Perfect.
But there you go. Matt's already posted it.
There we go. Yeah.
But we moved to Bonfire, and we actually launched a few new shirts. We've got our South and East shirts up available in a few different styles. One with the color matching for the event, and a black and a white style with our badge artwork. So our community badge artwork that we had, if you didn't catch it or didn't get to get one, you can now have it in shirt form. So we've done that, and then we've also added our PAX Online badge artwork onto a shirt as well. So if you didn't get to catch a badge for online, a community badge that we did, you can get it in shirt format as well. And then we also came up with 2 additional styles that we kind of wanted to bring to the community. One big part of the community that I personally am affiliated with is the Diversity Lounge with the LGBTQ. Being a member myself, I had to make sure that there was a shirt that met the Pride format. So we have our PCD Pride, and if you take a closer look at it, you might notice some very interesting design for it. So I'll let you guys take a look on your own. And then we actually have a new tee. We usually have a PCD kind of overall tee. This year, because of PAX Online, to kind of celebrate PAX Online, we created a design. Actually, GFX created a design. I really should give him the credit. Fernando did the artwork for our badges and for the shirts, but GFX is our designer for the shirts.
The man's a wizard. I gotta say.
He is a wizard.
This is like my favorite shirt. I love the stealth tee. It's so cool.
The stealth tee is absolutely fantastic, and definitely take a close look at that one as well. There's some very, very nice design aspects to it if you take a look. So those will be up in chat, and we'll have the post announced in server tomorrow morning, and you'll also see the YouTube. You should be seeing it on screen. It'll be edited in. So
Also, the YouTube description and description of the Spotify, or I guess wherever you listen, it'll be in that description as well.
yeah. So those will be up, and yeah, as well, it's not being mentioned in the channel in the chat, but oh no, there we go, Harold. We're limiting the stealth design to 6 days for now. We may extend it. We don't know yet. But...
Actually, Drew just said basically it's just for the batches they printed in.
Gotcha. Okay.
So yeah, so that should be persistent. You should be able to buy it still.
Okay. Cool.
But just
So-
think of it
so
as
it'll
limited time and buy it now.
Yes.
So-
Buy it now. You have 6 days, guys.
You only have 6
Limited
days. Wink,
timer.
wink.
Right. So yeah, that'll be up. I highly recommend the stealth tee for sure. And if you are a member of the LGBTQ, we made sure to get a design for you. And then if you attend any of the PAX events earlier this year, as well as online, there's a T-shirt for that too. So definitely recommend grabbing them. You may notice that Oz and West and Unplugged are missing a shirt, and that's because we will be pushing those designs next year, since unfortunately West and Oz and Unplugged look like they will not be happening this year. But if you are looking for the adventures of Paxter in the future, don't worry, we will have some more panels for you later.
He's just taking a break. He's quarantining for a few weeks.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. A
Or
few months, really.
Yeah, really.
Definitely a few months. So, I think that is it. I think we've covered everything. If you
Yeah.
guys have any questions, we have our community leaders. I'm the community leader. God. We have our community supporters as well as our ambassadors, who will be answering questions in the server. If you have any questions, feel free to drop them in the www channel on the server. Definitely pay attention to the PAX website for when that Discord link goes live for the PAX Online server, and start marking your calendars for some panels you want to go attend, especially PCD Game Night.
Don't miss it.
Definitely not. It's a fun night. We have a lot of fun during the game nights, so we'll have some special stuff for online. Any last words for you guys?
Well, we gotta make sure that we set our next date. See you guys in February for PAX East. Am I right?
I really hope so. I don't know how we're gonna have however many thousands of people we have under Charlie Baker, but you know what? I'm crossing my fingers. My wallet might cry, but if it doesn't happen, I might. So
I'm just over here because I miss PAX West. I'm demanding PAX East close for 2021 as well.
if
You
I
all
can't
know
have
that.
it, no one can.
East or Fed?
Exactly. We'll come back to PAX next year at this time, right?
Right,
Here.
yeah, right
So-
here. So we can go to Unplugged.
Definitely.
So yeah, but yeah, definitely look forward to that. Definitely, I know we always say it every stream, but still, even though you're online, don't forget to hydrate.
Hydrate or dihydrate.
Hydrate or dihydrate. Even though you're
Yep.
not in the expo hall, you might forget to drink some water while you're watching the stream. So always hydrate. Hydrate or dihydrate. We should put that on a
100%.
shirt.
Yep.
Right?
We need a hydrate or dihydrate tee. We need it.
Yes.
If you are work from home, don't be a couch potato sitting at your desk all day. Get some water.
Get
Still
some
drink
water. Hydrate or dihydrate.
Hydrate.
And on that note, thank you everybody for coming. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. Yeah.
We'll see you later.
We'll see you on the next episode, whenever that is. These are kind of coming out sporadically, but you know what? Life's busy. The world's busy.
Life is.
And you know what? As long as you're here, as long as you're listening, you watching this or listening to this right now, we'll continue to do this. So on that note, thank you everybody for coming by.
Good night.
Make sure to join the server if you haven't already. And yeah, have a great online.
And take care.